You've heard the melody, you've heard the soaring synths, you've heard that hypnotic beat, but the name of the song, you may not know. This is The Promise. It's a song that never quite topped the charts, but has definitely never left our memories. Released in 1987 by British synth-pop band When in Rome. And The Promise was a one-hit wonder that somehow became an all-time 80s anthem. At first, The Promise didn't exactly explode. It kind of floated around. It was played in some clubs and it was on some import charts until about 1988 when it landed in the United States. And then it kind of increased in popularity. It finished at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. And yet, with only modest success, really, the song has really never gone away. It had a kind of a quiet second life, thanks in part to its use in the film Napoleon Dynamite, which is one of my personal favorites. I think it's one of the funniest movies maybe ever made, one of them. But it wasn't played during that famous dance scene with Napoleon. That was Canned Heat by Jamiroquai. It was played over the closing credits in the end when Napoleon and Deb are playing tetherball. The Promise plays there, and it's like a perfect emotional exhale. It's not just background music; it's almost like a reward. It's definitely one of the most endearing movies ever made, and The Promise fits perfectly during that end credit scene. So let's talk about the sound of The Promise for a second here. The Promise is its perfect example of late 80s pop music. Gated drums, lush synthesizers, melancholy lyrics wrapped up in uplifting chords. There's something haunting, but still kind of hopeful about it here. It's synth pop with a soul. If you need a friend. It was recorded using a LinnDrum machine and a Roland SH-101. The LinnDrum specifically was all over music in the 80s, and it was used in huge hits. Take On Me by A-ha. When Doves Cry by Prince. Shout by Tears for Fears. The LinnDrum was everywhere, and it's part of The Promise as well. Now, sadly, the band itself, When in Rome, they were not destined to be a long-term act. They formed in Manchester, England, and they were part of that new wave explosion at the time. But remember, the late 80s, things were starting to change a little bit. Grunge was coming in the early 90s, and we still had a pretty big hair metal scene there in the late 80s. So it was a strange time in music, and a lot of changes coming and percolating in the music business. But the debut album here from When in Rome was generally well received, I guess, but it was nowhere near as popular as the single The Promise. And after just one album, When in Rome went their separate ways. But this one song, timeless. So the Promise kind of taps into a universal feeling, that if you need me, I'll be there, right? It talks about love, specifically unrequited love, heartbreak, and hope. And it's wrapped into a synth-powered time capsule. It feels nostalgic without trying to be. That's why a new generation discovered it in Napoleon Dynamite, and why older fans have never stopped playing it. Personally, it's one of my favorite one-hit wonders or lost hits, or whatever, however you want to say it. Around here we use those two terms interchangeably, but it's definitely one of my favorite of all of the one-hit wonders of the 70s and 80s and 90s. It is right up there near the top. Now, in 2004, downloads of the song spiked because of the release of Napoleon Dynamite, but the band had split due to label pressure, internal conflict, the same old story. But the song is still performed live through various incarnations of the band. The various members have kind of not rekindled, but they've kind of restarted separate groups, and they still perform the song live. So The Promise may not have gone platinum. It may not top 80s countdown charts, but it goes to show you that a great song doesn't need to dominate the charts. It just needs to be great. It needs to mean something. So this has been another Lost Hits of the 80s this time. Hit that like button if this one took you back, and let us know in the comments if there's a song that you'd like us to focus on for a future video. And also check out our Spotify playlist. It's got all the songs, including The Promise, that we talk about on this series. Makes it easy for you to hear the full version of those songs that we can't play here on these videos. But appreciate everybody's time. Thank you for watching, and please remember to subscribe to hear more retro songs like The Promise. Have a great day, everybody.